Okay, so the third thing I'd like to show you before we get into some of the more specifics on the MedDev solution, the third one being what we call desktop integration. So for example, if I happen to be a person that's just comfortable working on their desktop using Microsoft Office products, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, what PTC has done is actually come up with what we call desktop integration. So actually a plug-in to Word and Excel and PowerPoint that allows you access to the actual Windchill commands right within say, for example, this one Word example as we see it. So if I'm working on a standard operating procedure here, I'm at a point where I actually want to save it or want to check it in. If I have already checked it out of Windchill, I can check it back in. But if I just want to do a save here, and I can come into Desktop, Windows Explorer, and if I go to my PC, I can now see I have Windchill documents. So the icon actually represents the different locations or the different context where I can actually save this document within Windchill. And we'll get into these contexts in a little more detail in just a minute, but you can store it in a library that's more of a general area for a broader set of people within the organization, or it could be specific to a product or a project that this particular document is going against. So I'm going to put it in a library. I have a number of different libraries set up here because it's I'm going to consider it a standard operating procedure, so I'm going to put it in my standard operating procedures library. I can pick, I have a couple of subfolders in that library if I want to put it in there. I'm just going to leave it at the top level for now, and let's give it a name. Name and a number. And as I select Save here, I'm going to see that I now have a Windchill panel that comes up, or a Windchill page. And because I'm saving it for the first time within Windchill, it's going to ask me for some specific information about this document as it goes in. So this is the beginning of the medical device solution. So what we've done is within the Windchill solution, we've subtyped the document object into very specific medical device types of documents and records. I'm not going to read the whole list for you here, but you can see approval records through some control documents all the way down through some records and some standard documents at the bottom here. So because this is a standard operating procedure, I'm going to select standard operating procedure. And by selecting that, it's going to drive some behavior here, specifically attributes associated to this control document in the form of a standard operating procedure. And it's just going to populate the name that I gave it going in. Also, where I make the decision up front here as I check this in, is this going to be a document that's going to be need to be captured in the design history file? So the DHF categories are listed here as you see them. So this document is indeed going to be part of the design input. The device master record, I'm not sure yet. So if you know it is or it isn't, you can select that, or you can leave it undefined, which I want to do at this point. And then down through the panel here, you can see a number of different options, how you want to classify it and other attributes that have been collected about it. But the one thing I do want to point out here too is because this is going to be a standard operating procedure, I can make a decision on whether I need training against this procedure. So I'm going to say yes, and by doing that, after this document's been through its approval process, it's going to continue on a workflow that determines the group or the people and the tracking of who needs to be trained on this particular document. And we'll see a little bit of that in just a couple minutes. So once I've selected this information, I select OK, and it takes this document and it's now checking it into my Windchill system. And we should see here in just a moment that it actually is configured, and it is a configuration that it removes a local copy off my desktop. So in the spirit of a single version of the truth, this document is now checked into the Windchill vault, and there are no local copies on people's laptops or on computers that may conflict with the single version of the truth.